What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Going for Three podcast, episode 19. I am your host, Tony Farr, aka G, aka Gramps Bayless, apparently now. With me, as always, are Percy Thomas, aka PTP, and Chris Collins, aka Hot Takes Collins. How we doing, fellas?
Doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? 50 ball, 50 burger for the king. You know what I'm saying? Had to remind all you busters what he was about,
And then the next day, a little 54 piece from the young goat JT.
We're not doing this show is not about the Celtics. It's about the Lakers. Actually, not even about the Lakers.
No, it's not.
It's about LeBron.
It's always been about a lot of things. Actually,
it's LeBron. It's always been LeBron. It'll always be LeBron.
Let's get right into it, boys. Hot news, hot off the presses. Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos. Russ in a fourth to Denver for 2 firsts, 2 seconds. Drew Lock, Noah Fant. Who else was it?
Shelby Harris, I think.
Yeah, Shelby Harris and a 5th rounder. Damn
is correct. I got to be honest. I didn't see it coming. It kind of took me for a shock. I felt like this past week. I don't know. I just felt like he was going to stay.
At the little interview he did when he said, right now he's in Seattle. It just is, like he loves Seattle. You wouldn't have thought behind the scenes they were talking to Denver the whole time.
Right. And right now, thanks to Russell Wilson, he has now completed the bloodbath gauntlet that will be the AFC West now, apparently. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah, good Lord is right. Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in your division.
I say, when Derek Carr is the worst quarterback, and he's not even that bad, he dragged a team to the playoffs last season.
When Derek Carr could go to other divisions and be the best quarterback in a division, not all of them, but probably one, maybe two.
A good handful.
I mean, AFC South, he could be the best quarterback in. Fuck around, be the best quarterback in the NFC East. Even though I love me some James
NFC South.
Yeah, arguable.
He'd probably be second best in the North.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so it's definitely at this point, without a doubt, in my mind, probably the most competitive division in football with that addition. Simply because the NFC West was definitely up there, but they lost. They just lost Russ, so now they have a and
they're gonna probably lose Jimmy G too.
Potentially, he might get moved.
Potentially, yep, that is also true. So yeah, it's one of the bigger, if not the biggest trade I've seen in recent NFL history. I can't remember. Unless I'm forgetting somebody, another big name quarterback like that being traded in their prime.
But I say in their prime, or at least with this type of game changing talent.
Yeah.
The Stafford trade was big, not to this magnitude because Russ.
I haven't seen anything like
and stuff.
I haven't seen anything like this since Montana announced, but I don't think that was even the trade.
Montana to the Chiefs.
Was he traded to the Chiefs?
I don't recall.
Might have been.
I'm an old hat, but I think he might have been. I'm an old hat, but that was probably since then was something that big.
It says here that he forced a trade to them.
Yeah, and Steve Young was on the come up, and they was going to bench him anyway.
I see. Denver was talking to Seattle for 2 weeks, but they were also waiting on this Aaron Rodgers thing. So
yeah, it was just. We had gotten kind of reports about stuff for a while now, nothing to where I thought they were going to pull the trigger on something like this. I mean, wow.
It was kind of written in the stars that Denver was going to go after one of the quarterbacks that were like movable. Aaron was obviously the biggest one until like he confirmed like I'm staying in Green Bay. Then probably would have moved to Russell. Then he probably would have moved to Jimmy. Probably would have moved to Baker, honestly, just out of desperation.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to get somebody next season because they feel like they're really that good.
I'm gonna play. All right, look, I'm gonna admit this is a slight homer take here, but
hear me Commanders.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Oh boy.
Wait, hear me out. Let me hear you out. If you're Seattle, I get the idea of at least what's being said is didn't want to trade him to an NFC team, or maybe possibly, whatever. But if you're Seattle, shouldn't you take the best deal offered? If what's come out, it sounds like, and this is the homer part, is my Washington Commanders had theoretically a better offer than what Denver had.
I mean, until I see that,
but until you leak it,
I'm not going to speculate it. Also, I mean,
it was at least Washington was willing to give up players and 3 firsts.
Russell Wilson also had a lot of control on whether or not where he wanted to go. That trade was first. That trade to the Broncos was first reported, and it said upon Wilson's approval. So,
yeah.
But don't you think he probably already had an idea before they went through all this trouble?
Yeah,
I mean, he already had a list last year.
He went to where he wanted to go. Like some part of him wants to go to Denver because he had a choice. He had approval on it, so he chose Denver over Washington. Yeah. I also saw something that said he wanted to play for John Elway. So,
yeah. In theory, I could see how the Seahawks wouldn't want to trade him in conference because that. If anything, I kind of respect them just for that because I mean, they won't have to see him as much unless they actually make a run in the playoffs or like every once in a blue moon you see him on your docket, Broncos, Seahawks, whatever. You won't see him that much, so it's a better chance of you probably making the playoffs. You're like at points past your rebuild, so smart on that regard. Because if they traded him in house, and he would have been torturing them for like till he retires. He probably still will, but won't be as much.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm a little upset because we, through the farm, didn't get him. Didn't even get a thought. Apparently, even though he's from Virginia.
There's another big fish out there. He comes with a little bit of baggage and morality issues
and a suspension probably. Probably.
But he's still a sizable fish. Just maybe a little rotten. Maybe a little
it's like now it moves from the whole like waiting for Aaron Rodgers to now waiting on whether or not Deshaun Watson actually goes to jail or not. Like I mean, not to say that he should or anything. Like I don't know the nuances of that whole thing. But
I don't think he's going to end up doing jail time. He's going to end up settling all this, which is akin to admitting some kind of guilt, and the league's still going to punish him. So
he's not going to play for a whole season at least. Maybe a season and a half. Just for the fact that they put fear into the league with all this commotion.
Yeah,
I don't think the league is going to really take into account the fact that he didn't play last season, partially because of all this crap. When it comes time to handing him his suspension.
Yeah. I mean, like in theory, he has already missed a year. So if anything, they can suspend him for like another 4 games and then let him play because he's already sat out a long time.
I mean, the way the league suspends people is weird, to say the least. But
I mean, because Brady had the deflate gate and he only missed 3 games.
3.
True. Those are the league.
Yeah, but But you got like you've got like domestic violence and kind of charges and stuff like that don't even get.
Like Calvin really bet on one game and got a whole year's worth of
and look at oh my god, I'm brain farting. Help me out here. Weed.
You haven't said anything.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, Josh Gordon. I mean, he like half of his career because of weed.
Yeah,
because of weed.
He's continuously gotten caught with it though.
Yeah, but No,
I agree with you. But I'm saying it hasn't been one. It hasn't been one instance. I'm not saying that it's right, but it's been multiple. So that's why he keeps getting. That's why he keeps being out of the league.
I can definitely see that with that too, because I don't know, he got suspended for like doing a motorcycle shoot the week before a game or something like that. So it's their decision making is kind of murky. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like they made the right decision. Enough.
Interesting.
I'm sorry that your high hopes were dashed. But, yeah.
Well, yes, my high hopes were dashed. I don't know if my hopes are dashed because we'll see how it plays out. At this point,
I can still get a quarterback.
At this point, but at this point, I don't want like a Carson Wentz or Trubisky. No offense to them. Just draft a quarterback and take a chance. Honestly,
the best option too. Just so you wouldn't have to worry about what if Trubisky's mental is not good? What if Carson can't play anymore? You got a lot of things with people that are already in the league.
I think Carson can still play, but his decision making sucks. Trubisky, maybe he's reformed being in that Buffalo system for a year. Maybe he's reformed and he's a smarter player now because he certainly looked okay.
I mean, Trubisky was never really a dumb player. It was Matt Nagy just started throwing us some stuff
he's not going to command a lot of money. I mean, that's a positive.
He was a backup, so he won't ask for that much.
No, I'd just rather draft a quarterback and take a shot. If we're not going to get a big name, not pick it. But we can get to that at another point. The other big news today, Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay. Now, he's saying contract not necessarily signed, but everybody else saying 4 years, $200 million, $153 million guaranteed. Drastically lowers his cap hit, which obviously drastically lowers their over the cap amount. Although you got to add in Devontae being franchise tagged to that. Right move, wrong move?
I mean, they have their quarterback, so I guess it's the right move, I suppose. So I wouldn't be caught. No way in hell, given what a 36-year-old $200 million for 4 years, making him the.
Well, I think he's about to turn 38, isn't he?
Or is he older? If that's the case,
he might be reaching 40.
I don't know. He's 39.
I think he's 38.
He's 38.
About to turn 38. Yeah,
38.
Yeah. He just turned 38 in December. So there's just no way that I would be giving him that much money. It doesn't even make sense. It's like, bro, like I don't know. It just baffles me, honestly. The 4 years is like at 38. I get we had another guy who was playing into his 40s, but he's literally at his place in history for a reason. There's no guarantee that he's going to play up to this level. And quite frankly, the last 2 years, it seems like he's like the outcome has regressed a bit. I'm not going to say necessarily just say cut and dry that he's regressed, but like they haven't gotten to where they wanted to go. And in big moments, he hasn't shown up when he needs to. So to give him such a contract that's so large, like I don't know. I guess I would want to see where else they go with this, and maybe see more details of the contract and how they're going to restructure it to get or keep certain people if they are. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
well,
like when Brady
Go ahead.
When Brady went to the Bucs, it wasn't anything like this. If I remember correctly, he didn't want to be the highest paid. He took a good contract to get other people to go there.
Or shoot, even in New England, Brady never took Brady was winning chips after chip in New England and never asked to give him all the money from their salary to make him the highest paid player. Because you have to build a team.
I don't know, and I'm not as like I said, I'm not as mad. I'm not as mad at Aaron, I guess, for asking it. Because whatever, that's your money, blah blah.
Yeah, he can
but
ask,
for the Packers to give this to him, it's just like, come on. He clearly doesn't want to leave. Bro, sit him down. And be like, listen, bro, we can pay you, but this is a ridiculously astronomical number, and you might cripple us even more. I don't know, bro. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. He'll retire a Packer, and he'll be an all-time quarterback. He'll be 1B, 1A, or 1, depending on whoever you ask, over Brett Favre. He's Hall of Famer, one of the greats, but it just I don't know. I don't see this ending well.
No, I don't either.
I don't see this going off into the sunset with a ring or anything like that.
I don't see that. I don't either, because at least as of right now, you got to try to keep Devontae. If you do, for all I know, a year from now, it'd be the same thing over again, where he might want out, traded, or whatever, because they're going to have to reduce the overall count of their team just to reduce their salary cap to the point of being under it. They can't keep the squad together.
And not even that. It's even past Devontae, you have Jair Alexander, your all-pro corner, who's actually way younger than Aaron Rodgers. That you have to worry about his contract. Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith coming off of really good years defensively. You got to worry about trying to pay them, and Billy Turner, which I think he's one of on their line, their O line.
Yeah.
You have a lot of guys that you really had to pay attention to for the sake of cohesion, because they have been there for the last 3 seasons, I think. Dang near the last 3 seasons. So you're giving
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, so you're giving, like how you said, giving this 38-year-old man who isn't really proven that he's going to be like Brady when he's 40. He's been choking the past 2 years. He's been in a stack. He's been choking the last 2 years. You're giving him all this bread because he wants it, not because he's earned it to an extent off of the last 2 seasons, but because he wants to be paid this much. It just doesn't.
And they're supposed to release Zadarius Smith, or the reports that they're going to release him.
It's like defensively, it's like, I understand Rashawn Gary made a name for himself. That's only one linebacker position. If you lose Preston, what are you gonna do? Y'all don't. They don't really draft well.
Isn't Rasul a free agent too?
Rasul Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he might not. He's not gonna demand that much. Gary, I don't think he's gonna demand that much.
Well.
He's played. I think he played on 3 teams in the past 4 seasons, right? Yeah, I think he played for them, Philly, and somebody else that I can't remember.
Either way, Aaron got what he wanted, and ultimately the Packers might end up paying for it. We'll see.
I mean, the only thing the Packers get out of this is, when they probably win out in the division for the next, for the extension of this contract, barring if they lose Devontae Adams.
If he stays for the whole thing, let's not.
If he stays for the full amount of the contract, because eventually the team's gonna suck, because once again they had to give everybody, they had to give him everybody else's money. The team's eventually going to start to suck, which increases the chance of you losing Devontae because he's tagged, and Aaron Rodgers being unhappy because now you got what you wanted, but the supporting cast around you is literally bad.
I mean, Devontae Adams can be unhappy too. I feel like we don't talk about this enough when people just get franchise tagged.
But if he gets hurt, he loses bread. I think the amount that he could have gotten paid originally decreases by what they kept throwing out when I was hearing people talk about his contract. It's in the millions, but he can lose a decent amount of money if he gets hurt next year. Nothing's really for sure with what's going on with his situation, so that even makes it worse. the whole team as a whole.
Yeah, I don't know. I really got nothing more for it, to be honest.
Yeah. Luck for them, I guess.
I mean, shit, it wouldn't hurt for them to suck. They've been great for 30 years now, right?
I'd say they haven't been ass in a minute.
I mean, they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, literally. Yeah. So I think Aaron's first year, I think they were competitive, but I'm not sure if they made the playoffs. But shit, I mean, yeah,
I don't think they did his first year.
I think they were 7-9 or some shit.
I think they went like 6-10. Yeah,
but I mean, one quick year, and it was back at it. So yeah, they're due for some bad years. So you will get no sympathy from me, Packers fans.
No.
So it is what it is.
All right. Next up, this past week we had the NFL Combine. A lot of showing out. Some head scratching. Kayvon Thibodeau. How much did you watch? Any thoughts on what you saw?
Actually,
speak to me.
But before we even really get into stood out or whatever, you brought up Thibodeau. I just want to pose this question really quickly.
Of course.
After seeing or hearing reason as to why he didn't do any on-field drills the day of the defensive end and everything, he wanted to do everything at his pro day. But granted, he showed up, did the bench press, did the 40, I believe. Maybe he did the broad jump. I think he did a couple of the little bare necessity thing before you get to the 40. But after the 40, he just didn't want to do anything else.
Right.
Do you guys think it works against him as far as the stigma that he already had of phoning in plays, he would quit on plays or certain things not really lining up with his moral or his attitude, more or less? Does it work against him as far as being top 3?
I don't think so. I think if teams want to kind of vet that process, they can do that. At the end of the day, production and film on the field is going to take precedent over any of this combine shit, to be honest with you. And if he does have his pro day and it and it goes well, then we definitely won't even remember any of this. They'll just be talking about the pro day.
I think it plays into it a little bit. I think it plays into that narrative right now for sure.
I feel like it was important for him, honestly, because I mean, his tape work to me, I've been trying to be biased, but his tape work isn't really that impressive. I mean, I just see it as he's a 6'6" dude and handling dudes off the line. You're supposed to do that.
That's something.
But it's Aaron Donald is I say that everybody has to be Aaron when you look at their tape. But when you look at his combine tape or his actual game tape, you see the finesse. You see the ability to really any scenario thrown at him offensively, making something shake.
I know, and I know you're saying you don't want to compare them, but I mean, you're talking about one of the guys. So it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to use the Clowney thing because I don't see him as Clowney 2.0.
I mean, Davion Clowney is a good player. I mean, if we're being quite honest, I mean, he's not a bust. He's pretty sure he's been a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but it's I feel like Clowney has had Clowney has more to his game than Thibodeau does. I mean, of course, right now,
I don't know about that.
I feel like he has more to his game, or had even when he was coming out, I feel like he had more to his game than Thibodeau did. As far as his playmaking ability, his motor, playmaking aspect, almost every single play.
Thibodeau has a pretty solid motor.
But he wants to have it. There's certain plays where he just doesn't show up.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah,
a lot of
I do think it plays into that narrative right now. But if he does this thing at the Oregon Pro Day, he'll still be I mean, I could still see a bit of a fall, but nothing dramatic. I mean, I'm not saying like a shit. I mean, I don't think he would fall out of like the top 10. I don't think it would be anything like that. But could there be a scenario where he basically doesn't do anything at the pro day, or nothing, or does nothing at the pro day, and then that precipitates a fall? Yes, because it will lend to the narrative that he doesn't want it, or he doesn't care about it that much. He's trying to just go on pure talent alone. It doesn't have like the heart, the motor, the heart. Doesn't have anything to prove.
Yeah. I don't know. Like there was a lot of players like that I've seen like footage wise, and even when it came to the combine, it's like there's like a thing of like wanting to make a play every single time, like a Jordan Davis, or like what's another one? There was a cornerback that I really saw some, like a Sauce Gardner, even like different positions, but still to the point of like those guys like. They try to make a play, like whether it's back-to-back plays or playoff. He come back on the field. Like the big play aspect is just always within them. With Thibodeau, I just don't know if like he have eye motor. I could be wrong, but I just don't see the like aura about him where it's like he's just like fighting through the line every single drive to really just get to the QB. But at certain times he just tries to like pick his spots to when to just I'm a manhandle the line on the third play stuff. Like I feel like I get that energy from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
I don't know where these. I'm not saying that you guys made them, but I don't really know where the whole motor questions or comments came into play. What I saw from him, I didn't see any lack of motor. Honestly, I saw him playing with a great motor, great first step, and great IQ for the game. That's what I saw. But I mean, I don't know. I know we're nitpicking these guys extremely hard before the draft, but I mean, at the end of the day, the talent's going to speak first and foremost. He don't got no law trouble, So I mean, I don't see him dropping. There's no injury concerns. There's no law issues or anything like that. So yeah. I don't see a weakness in a man's game. I mean, you can talk about how you saying that he doesn't splash off to you, but is there a weakness?
There could be. There could be some weaknesses to it. I mean, not every.
But where? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying like specifically, like, did you see any lack of first step, any weakness as far as being a run support, hands, effort, or even just like making IQ plays?
Okay, I'll put it like this: the way he moved players out of the way at the college level, it's not gonna be as easy for him on the pro level. He's not moving guys like Bakhtiari or like Quentin Nelson's he's not moving those guys like how he's moving the guys at the college level. So he's gonna have.
We can say that, but I mean, I'm not. And once again, you said it. Sorry, you said it, and I'm gonna say it too. He's not. We know he's not Aaron Donald. I'm not saying that. You're not saying that.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, Aaron did it. Aaron was moving fellas around.
Got to
the league, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, or like a Myles Garrett. Like Myles Garrett is like
Well, he's getting drafted in the same stock that they are, so that I mean, it's not out of the realm to expect him to be able to play up to the same level. He's going to be a top 5 pick, So it's like I expect that of him. He'll be he'll be drafted higher than Aaron Donald, won't he?
He'd be way higher because Aaron Donald was like top 15.
It was like, and so I expect that. There's no reason as to why he doesn't translate, in my opinion. Yeah. He's got the physical tools, he's got the mental, and from what I saw, he has the motor. And I don't see how that doesn't equate to success.
But I guess the question is, because of that, does he have the heart? But I mean, again, show up at the pro day and do your thing. It won't make any difference.
I'm not gonna sit here and say he doesn't have heart because he doesn't want to do the combine. You know what I mean? Like the more time that goes on, I feel like the more we see this where guys are really focusing more on their pro day because it's something that they can control. It's somewhere where they're comfortable. If this event or these type of scenarios is going to play such a major role, maybe not for the top guys, but for a lot of guys on where they get drafted, how they're perceived. Why not? Yeah. Why would you not want it to be in a environment and in a situation that you can control more often than not? You know what I mean? If it's at my school with my coaches, I can control that. If I'm going to the NFL, I can't control who's watching, who does what, who does blah, blah, blah. The guys that are helping me, the guys that are doing the drills with me, I can't control none of that.
Yeah, but but overall, like that's the only thing he gains from doing all that stuff at his pro day. But as far as like doing it at the combine, it's like combine is broadcasted. The coaches and GMs are there. Like you can actually talk to them. And they
why do I need to talk to all of them? They're drafting me.
I'm not going to talk to all 32, but at least as far as like the top 4 teams that are in range to get you, that's more or less what they're there for. And then like anybody else that gets invited is like you put yourself on the map. But overall, like your pro day is less televised. Like people have to go out to Oregon to go see him for his pro day,
and they gonna do that. But they gonna be there in bulk. And when their scouts are there for those teams, they're gonna talk to him. Because they're drafting me. I'm not drafting you. Y'all coming to see me. Y'all want me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and for a top prospect like this, bro, top 5, top 3, whatever, like the combine don't really do shit for me except maybe make people raise more questions. Which is, even what we're doing now, he didn't participate. He should have just not showed up.
Okay, that's what I thought he was going to do, more or less.
He should have just not even went if that's the case, and just say I'm gonna just do all my shit at the probate or not the probate, the pro day. That's what a lot of quarterbacks do. They don't even show up. They just say,
there's situations where like, granted, like he was injured, like Matt Corral didn't do any of his stuff. It's like,
and were we talking about him in this same type of light?
Not to say in this type of light, but obviously he's injured, so it's different. But or it's like when Malik Willis didn't do a 40. Like everybody knows why Malik Willis didn't do a 40, so nobody bats an eye at that stuff. But also to the standard of that, like the quarterbacks of this class are seen as like 11, highest maybe 9 and below. A guy that's already a guy like Thibodeau in a class where edge rushers are deep, literally deep.
But he is still at the top of that list.
Yeah, but at this point, he's at the top of the list. But at this point, it could be a roll of the dice between it could be him or Jermaine Johnson. Like a team could just wake up on the wrong side of the pillow, be like, maybe Jermaine's a top 3 guy. Maybe
still not leading the top 5.
Maybe dude name it's like Boye. What is it's Madafe? I think they can wake up and be like, hey, Madafe might be top 5. It all depends.
But what does that mean to him? You're saying, you know what I mean?
Like teams are more
about being the first overall pick.
Like not just being number 1 because I feel like number 1's gonna be a lineman, but like an O lineman. But as far as like teams like the Texans and below, they could just look at it and be like, I could still get a solid edge rusher in round 2. Like he might drop a little bit. Like who knows?
If that's a need for you, you need an edge rusher. You're not gonna take a flyer on the second rounder. You're gonna get the guy who is quote unquote the can't miss prospect with no weakness, with the body, with the motor, with the everything else. Like if that's what I need, that's what I'm going to take. And like, yeah, they're deep, but at the same point in time, I'm going to take the top prospect. Why would I? If I need that, why am I rolling the dice? Like, why do I need to roll the dice? I'm going to take. I'm
going to say like roll the dice because like if you look at Trayvon Walker, that might not be a roll of the dice thing. That guy might be one of the best edge rushers in this class from a physical standpoint.
But off of his tape and probably off of the stats, he's not better than Thibodeau. So why am I even thinking about it? If it's not
off tape and combine, is it really that like?
I'm not gonna put somebody over somebody else because of a combine. I simply just won't do that.
No, I'm not saying like based on. I'm not even saying combine specifically. I'm saying like overall, like even tape wise, Walker has some pretty solid tape as well.
Didn't say he didn't, but he's not better than Thibodeau's. He can have solid tape. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm simply placing Thibodeau above him, and I'm not the only one that is doing that. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about with the whole combine thing. I mean, there's been guys over the years becoming, and it gets more abundant as time goes on, that don't do the combine. Top guys that don't do it, don't do what they don't want to do. They'll come and they'll do maybe something here and there, but they won't do everything, and it doesn't matter. So I'm kind of confused as to why he's getting this rap. It's almost like a made up narrative. It's kind of it. Not to the same extent, but it's giving me Justin Fields almost.
I wouldn't say it's a made up narrative. I would say it's an overblown one.
If it comes from the motor, it's made up because he doesn't have a lack of motor.
I don't know it's that. The impression I got is the talking point is like the heart.
I mean, but that's all. We all know that those two things are tied together.
I mean, the guy can have a. I mean, you think about it. I mean, like even with basketball, like Anthony Edwards has a high motor, but at some point, people didn't know if he was actually going to play basketball or not. That's just a genuine question.
That was true.
Like if Anthony Edwards could have just said, "Yo, I might want to play football instead." He played like 3 sports.
He was going to play basketball by the time when it was time to get drafted. Like he was going to play basketball. He's already declared for the draft. We're in the process. So when Anthony Edwards had declared for the draft, there were no more questions. He was just saying he liked football, and he's always like, "Yeah, I'm great at sports." But like the point in the process that we are in now is the point of past declaring. So once Anthony Edwards declared for the NBA draft, he was going to play. We all knew he was going to play.
I mean, in the case of even for your team, dude, Patrick Mahomes got drafted for baseball. He still declared for the NFL. Like that doesn't really change anything.
And I knew he was never going to play baseball. He's not the first. He's not even the first person to get drafted in baseball and play football. We all knew.
But I'm saying, the art of declaring is very marginal in that case because you get drafted. Half of these quarterbacks in the league are drafted by multiple baseball teams. They just don't play or their contract is held up.
And that's why I say there are only a couple where it may be a legit question because they're actually that good. You know what I mean? Like that good to where they're gonna where they'll think about passing up a multi-million-dollar opportunity for a guaranteed football contract to go play baseball and maybe go to the minor leagues for a little bit and all of that. There's only been a couple of guys where that's actually been a question, and Patrick Mahomes was not one of them. It was maybe Kyler, maybe Russell, because Russell played a little bit, but I mean, I don't know how I know how we got here, but we started on Thibodeau.
Yeah, we started on.
We went to Anthony Edwards, but
Yeah,
well, that's what we do.
I'm just my whole point is, man. Heart is attached to motor. We all know that. If you have a high motor, it's because you want to. That's heart. If you don't have a high motor, we're gonna say you don't want to. You ain't got no heart. And AD, we look at his motor all the time. We all say he ain't got no heart. He ain't got no motor. You know what I mean? Like Andrew Bynum didn't have no motor, had no heart. Like that. Those are. It's a desire thing. And I didn't see any lack thereof.
Sure.
Don't come at me when he's all pro.
I had to ask that.
Don't come at me when he's all pro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a bum. I just think that there might be a few other players in the class that could have equally as good a career, if not maybe a better one than him. That's just how I'm seeing it.
I'm not necessarily arguing that. Yeah. But that's also that's you can't know that. So when you're drafting, I imagine you want to take the surefire prospect. It's kind of the whole situation of where I know both of them are out of the league now, but it's like the whole kind of situation with Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin. Like you've seen Robert, who at the time people may have thought he would have had a higher ceiling than Andrew Luck, but you still knew that Andrew Luck was going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. Period. Point blank. Like that was it. Like We knew that. So it's like, yeah, this guy could maybe have a better career, but like we're not going to go wrong with this guy, and we know there's no risk. And I'm not even saying it's that close with Thibodeau and the guy that you named, but it's just like kind of one of those things. It's like, you know, when you I don't know, and also when you at that high at the draft, you can't afford to be making mistakes.
Yeah,
Where you draft
yeah,
five,
and that's the thing though. Like, if you think about it, the Raiders are like, the Raiders are a perfect example when it comes to like getting an edge rusher. They drafted Cleveland Farrell. Was it 4 or 5? I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5. They drafted Cleveland Farrell. He hasn't done anything. In college, wrecked the line, all that fancy stuff. But he wasn't a top 5 pick. Everybody knew that. The Raiders just didn't know that. But it just goes to show, like, a guy could be all this in college to the pros. That's just how I can see it. Like, I'm not. I'm not wishing for him to be like that.
Wasn't that a situation where that was kind of like a shock?
It was a shock pick because he wasn't top 5 on anybody's
exactly.
board, so.
But this guy is for everybody, even us, and it's been that way. So we're all seeing the same things. We're all seeing things that we believe will translate to the next level at every point. So it's like, I'm not saying that other guys can't have success and may or may not be better, but he has the tools and the makeup from what I've seen on tape to be the best. He has the best chance to be the best. Does that mean he will? No, but he has the best chance to get there out of this class, in my opinion, and apparently a bunch of other people's opinions do. But that doesn't matter. We're talking about our opinions.
Well, since we were on the subject of the combine before we got to that, anybody stand out to you? Big name, little name, anyone?
Yeah, some Bulldogs for sure. Jordan Davis.
Oh my God, he outstanding. He killed it.
Yeah, he did. What did he run? Like 4.7.
He ran it was a 4.78, I think.
At 341 pounds, 6'6", just a monster of a person. You know, I don't need that running at me at 4.7 speed. I don't. That's like a Mack truck. That is I feel like you can go to jail for like assault with a deadly weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dangerous.
Yeah, surprisingly agile too.
Yeah, we know how stout he is. I mean, literally just physically, and then it's just like his impact. As far as being in the middle, we saw his impact with Georgia, being one of the leading factors of that top-rated defense. I think he's gonna step in. He's gonna be impactful right away. I mean, I kind of think Vita Vea. But yeah, great combine for him, like you said, Gramps. And then another is just a receiver. Just because I thought he would have been slightly slower. Was George Pickens. I didn't think he was gonna run. I think he ran a 4.4. Gotta be honest, I thought he was gonna be slower. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thought he was gonna be like a 4.5, late 4.5s or high 4.5s, I should say. But he ran a 4.4. I like George. I think he just got that receiver swag to him. Got great hands, got great catch radius, and he just plays with like a great attitude, in my opinion. I like George. And then I guess another side note, I watch mainly like receivers and like running backs, but Chris Olave running a 4.2 was also very nice. I didn't think he was gonna run that. Thought he was gonna be kind of the same as Wilson. I think Wilson ran a 4.37, I want to say.
Yeah, around that range.
Yeah, Chris Olave ran like a 4.26, 4.27.
I think it was 4.28.
4.28, yeah.
I think it was 4.28, yeah.
Yeah, he was blazing. That shit was nice. He's going. I don't know. I think both of those guys are going to be immediate impact players. But yeah, Chris Olave having that showcasing that speed. He already has like really nice routes, really good body control. Like, he's just going to be a smooth, like, solid receiver, like, from day one, I think. But yeah,
I've got a few names.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the first one I'm going to name is an obvious one, but I really like what Desmond Ridder did.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Willis, all the props to him. Cannon for an arm, mobile. Needs to work on his accuracy, a little raw. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I get the love for Pickett. I don't care about the hand size. I didn't like the zip on his ball. But I liked what Ridder did. I like his leadership qualities. Good rhythm. His footwork and mechanics are really, really good. He works his progressions. I like the way he reads the field. He's mobile. He was faster than I thought he was going to be. To be honest with you, I think he ran a 4.6.
Mm-hmm.
That surprised me. Deceptively faster than I thought he was going to be, but I knew he was mobile. I think he threw well. I think he needs to strengthen his arm a little bit. His arm isn't weak, but it's not. I think he can work a little bit on the arm strength, especially for the deep ball. Looking like a mobile pocket passer. I am concerned about broken plays and throwing on the run, but that's certainly something he could work on. I like him. I would have him as QB2 in this draft. That's me. But now I got a few names that aren't necessarily like on the big board. Christian Watson.
I was gonna say that.
The receiver. Too. Yeah, Christian Watson. I was impressed.
He runs crazy fast for his size.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 4.36. Real agile, 6'4", like 208, 210.
Yeah.
He's vertical. I think he showed out well enough. Second round. I could see like second round. Let's see who else we got. Chikakonkwo. I think that's how you say it. Okonkwo. Yeah, from the tight end from Maryland.
Yep.
Again, vertical, 4.5. What was he? 4.52, I think.
Sure.
I think so. It was in the 4.5 range. 4.52, something like. It was in the 4.5. I know it was 4.5 something. 6'2", 238. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe put 10, 15 pounds on him.
4.5.
Yeah. Maybe gain a little bit of weight. I like his hands. Showed surprising agility. I don't know if he's the first tight end off the board, but I like what I saw. And this draft seems to be a lot of the more blocking type. He showed out to me as a receiver. Don't know where he goes, but I liked what I saw. Trevor Penning, the tackle from Northern Iowa. 6'7", 325, ran a 4.8. Really looked good. Strong, agile. He's got to me, I could see it. I could see it. And Tariq Woolen, corner from UT San Antonio. He definitely needs a little technique coaching, for sure. To get that stop and go, to work with good route, to line up against good route runners. But I like his size and speed. I like his vertical. 6'4", 205, maybe a little bit of weight, but extremely fast. He can hang with bigger, taller receivers, I think, on 50-50 balls with his vertical. I think he matches up very well there. Again, I just think maybe a little bit of coverage technique that he could be coached on that, but I think he vaulted himself from maybe a 4th, 5th round pick to maybe late second-ish round, early third. That's what I saw.
I mean, he used to be a receiver, though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I still feel like when he came down to the not the like that, but like when he got to the mechanics for him, like he'll probably still be 4th just off the like development aspect, but he definitely has the athletic ability to be good, though. I'm gonna just go by like 3, just off like the 3 that I really kind of like really looked at. To the tight ends, Trey McBride. Yeah, I said that one of his inspirations was, He said what?
No, I said okay. Okay.
But Trey McBride said one of his inspirations was George Kittle, and during the drills and everything, like I kind of can, not to say I see that being like his ceiling, but I feel like he'll be a really good tight end. Like on some of the catching drills, he made like some really like difficult catches, like some real like extension reaches. Does have the blocking ability, and I feel like only like 3 like receiving tight ends really in this class that I could see like really like being like blatantly clear, which is like Lively, Greg, the guy from UCLA, I forgot what his last name is, and possibly him. I mean, Okonkwo can do a lot of things, so like, I don't want to pin him to just receiving, but
you don't think Jelani Woods maybe?
But the 6, he's like 6'7", something like that, 6'6".
6'7", yeah.
I could see it, but he just seems raw to me in a weird, like to a certain degree. He just seems raw. Those are like the only ones that I could look at and be like, okay, like receiving might be like what earns them their bread moving forward. But Trey McBride can really do a lot of things, so I feel like he might be I feel like he'll be second round after like looking back at the numbers and some of his film and everything. He might be second, maybe by third. It should be interesting to see where he goes. Moore, one of the various receivers that had a really ridiculously fast 40. He moved up a lot of boards. I forgot what play he made in one of the on-field drills. Pretty much, they said after that catch that he made, like he pretty much shot up from bottom of the third to dang near second, like high 15 second round pick. How these receivers based off speed are gonna get like a shot, see what they do. It's off the athletic aspect of like you got like Olave and a lot of guys that even like higher heights are still running at a really really good pace. Like they're gonna get a shot regardless. But and what he's done, like tape wise, he's on the smaller side if I remember correctly. Like, I don't want to say 5'7", but
no, I think he was 5'8", 5'9". Probably.
It's like 5'10".
Remember right?
Yeah, he's like 5'10". So he's on the shorter side, not shorter than the guy out of Memphis, Austin, I think. He's not shorter than him, but the shorter side. So that also plays a factor in his stock. But depending on what system he's in, he could probably be a really dangerous like weapon, kind of like how Braxton Berrios is being used in New York, like that kind of gadgety ass guy that could really like make some plays in open field. And well, I'll wait for the last one. I say a cornerback, Kyler Gordon. Think what college he was out of. But I want to say Washington, but I don't think that's Washington. That might be McDuffie. But
that was McDuffie.
Yeah. Let me figure this real quick. It's gonna annoy me if I'm not
Washington.
So what?
Kyler Gordon's from Washington.
Okay. Yeah. It's like it came down to the on-field stuff. like the movement, like the body shifting and stuff like that. He was one of the corners that really stood out to me as far as how smooth he was. And I don't think he's projected as a first round pick. There's only like a few corners, like Gardner and McDuffie, and probably like another corner that I can't think of, but maybe Kyer Elam. But as a late second, early third round pick for a corner, I feel like he's a really fundamentally sound corner. Might not be the fastest, depending on what like his pro day time is, like the 40 and stuff. But like as a nickel, or maybe even like a guy you develop over time, I thought he could be pretty well.
Okay, I saw them.
That's the I don't agree with that.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Interesting.
I don't disagree.
George Pickens, number 1 receiver out of this draft. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I don't believe that. I think
at one point Pickens was. Some people.
I'm very high on Pickens, but a lot of I really like those Ohio State boys. Olave and Wilson.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think they're gonna be nice. One of them gonna be nice. I don't know which one. Maybe they both are, but one of them for sure is gonna be nice, like as hell.
Yeah,
but George could be nice too though, because he got good size. And
Pickens, when healthy, could be one of the best receivers out of this class. Burks still has a lot of room to be like potentially the best receiver out of this class in the future.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of well, at least to me, there's a lot of serviceable pieces come out of this class. I'm not sure how many of them will be like Pro Bowl golden jacket, but like there's gonna be some really good players like at a few positions from this year. For running back, I have no idea. Like outside of like Hall and Walker, I know nothing about the running backs in this class at all.
A lot of how would I describe it? A lot of question marks, I guess. Could be good.
Yeah.
A lot of small backs.
Like I know you said like Breece Hall could be like bottom of the first if a team like kind of wants to, or if they need to, high second. Kenneth Walker, like everybody knows how good he is, but most good running backs, go in that second round, like early second. Outside of them, I don't really know of like a sleeper running back that is like okay, like he could really like shake some stuff up. Like maybe he should have went before Hall or something. Like I don't really see that.
No. I could see Breece being a late first, early second but I would think it would take some movement for the other two to be first round. I'm not so sure the other two are going to be first rounders for sure.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I don't know.
Because
it's like on paper, I feel like Kenneth Walker will probably be high second. Like, if a team wants to develop, like that's the thing with running backs for the most part. Like last year when it was last year, like when it was
I don't know if running backs develop.
Running backs develop?
I said I don't know if running backs develop.
I mean, the class with Swift, Allaire, and Taylor was like that was like almost the best example of it from recent years.
Yeah, I feel like running backs is just opportunity, honestly, man. I don't because their shelf life of being like at the top isn't even really that high, especially if they're gonna be like a bell cow, unless you like one of them Hall of Fame guys and it just works out for you. But even then,
yeah,
like the guys that were at the top of the league 2-3 years ago are now either getting hurt or just aren't viewed the same. Like Christian McCaffrey hasn't played a lot of games in 2 years. Alvin Kamara, although still, really good, we don't view him at the top anymore. Derrick Henry just got hurt, although he came back. But
yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know how to word this. Like, I can see where you're going with it. Like, because even like in the case of like a David Johnson who had like like a really solid campaign, and then just kind
Got
of fell
hurt
off the
and
face
then
of the
never
earth.
really recovered.
Yeah, like I don't know if David Johnson really had as much like in his toolkit outside of running the ball. At least that I can remember. I don't.
He's a really good catcher. He's a really good catcher of football. That was his thing. Like he was a good receiver at the running back position as well. That was like his whole. He was kind of like a Christian McCaffrey before he came into that role. Although I'm not saying like he was the first or the best to do catch at that running back position, but that was his big thing. Like his great year, I guess. He caught 80 passes, so somewhere around 80. And he wasn't like a 1,000-yard receiver because Christian was the first running back to do that, but he was damn near close. I should say the first to have 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like running backs just like if you don't got that vision, you don't got that vision. And so that I feel like that shit don't be different. That's a feel thing because like we look at like somebody like Trent Richardson who really didn't honestly have great running back vision, and we saw it immediately when he got to like the next level where he couldn't really always physically dominate everybody, and the holes weren't just glaringly there. And he wasn't what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember the next running back that was drafted high that busted out. But I'm sure there are some. I'm sure.
Yeah. Probably the one I could have think. I mean, it wasn't like draft related, but like like the Peyton Hillises and stuff. Where it's like he finally got his opportunity to get out there and play. Lasted for like a year and a half.
Like Justin Forsett is I feel like another good one, just because he didn't really have a lot going like in the early league. He was like a backup, kind of bounced around. Then he just got his opportunity in Baltimore. I think he was like he damn near was almost 30.
Oh, yeah,
and he was able to get his opportunity. He just took and he was able to take advantage of it.
It could possibly just be like very much like opportunity thing for like some of those lower guys. I mean, even like for a team like mine, like I didn't know nothing about Craig Reynolds going into this season. And this man is a dog. So it's like it could be one of them things where there's only two names being talked about out of this class now, but a couple running backs that like end up on the Dolphins or whatever and end up going stupid, and they're like, you know what, this guy was in this class too, drafted.
Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up before we wrap it up? Besides the Lakers.
We're not going to talk about the Lakers, man. We're not going to talk about the Lakers.
There was one thing I thought of. So like I seen like something with the Kings, right? And they said that the Domantas Sabonis trade was like a win now move for them. But looking back at win-loss count since the trade, like they have the same record as the Pacers, just 3-10.
Yeah, that's what was said at the time.
I think that they said that that's what you're supposed to say.
Make them feel better.
I think the move more so was about making a decision, and the decision was De'Aaron Fox is our guy, and it was the right decision. Don't get me wrong about that. It was definitely the right decision. And it was basically saying like we're gonna build around De'Aaron. But they're gonna have to like take this off season and look at the rest of the roster and kind of retool around those two guys. You got two cornerstones potentially, so you just got to build around it and see where they can take you. But I mean, building around De'Aaron, in my opinion, was definitely the right choice. I mean, he's better than Tyrese. I mean, we like
Yeah,
Tyrese, and I know a lot of people were like,
we've had like 4 or 5 years of watching Aaron too. To be fair, watch him.
I
We
mean, yeah,
watched
but
him
it's
grow.
true. But I mean, his rookie year was better than Tyrese's, and his second year was also, I believe, at the time, probably better than Tyrese. Not saying that I like Tyrese too, but I feel like a lot of times we kind of get caught up in the shiny new toy, and I feel like that's where a lot of people were feeling like, even myself included. But I think if we were to like really sit down and look at it, like De'Aaron Fox is clearly the better player. And as far as building your team around it, I mean, you will want, at least in today's league, you will want a more dynamic point guard over like a Tyrese, who is more of a traditional point guard, but is definitely growing his way into starting to fill the bucket up and growing more into his offense. But I wouldn't say that he's more what's the word? Like, I can't think of it, so I'll say more diverse than De'Aaron Fox.
But with the way they had that offense set up, I mean, I don't think it really was a question of like they probably made it in the grand scheme of things. Like, which one would they rather have? But if anything, it would have been clear that you could have had a bench unit led by Halliburton and a starting unit led by De'Aaron, and then they went to go draft Mitchell, and that's probably what like is more of a. I feel like that's like a decently deciding factor because like when you get 3 guards, you got to figure out who to keep.
You're right, but I mean, putting Tyrese on the bench doesn't serve anyone because you're not maximizing him at all. So if you're not going to start, you're not going to start him. If you're not going to start him, then you definitely don't need him. And as far as being a point guard, like he's a lead guard. I mean, he's able to play off ball, but he's really a lead guard.
Yeah.
And so is De'Aaron. So it's like, yeah, like they're playing together, and they individually might not have had a problem with playing with each other or issues like that. But it's like from a GM perspective, I would imagine like you're gonna have to build around one of them.
Or
you know what I mean?
He
like
would have to pay both big time bread because eventually, if Tyrese got better, it would add up to close to what De'Aaron would have made like in the future. So
I mean, if you got two good quarterbacks, you don't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just I like that the Kings made a decision, and that's where we are with the Kings. But it was the decision, and stick to it and ride it out. Do I think that Sabonis and De'Aaron can be good enough? No. But do I think that Tyrese and Fox could have been good enough? No. So either way, it was what it was. But they made a decision. I'm not mad at it. Technically,
it was kind of funny to see that though. Like the Kings, like even when they get rid of Vlade, they still manage to find ways to become the joke of like something that they said in the media.
True, but I also feel like they were kind of giving them shit a little bit as far as because they're just the Kings. Because like, who got the best player out the trade? The Kings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let's make no mistake about it. Sabonis is an all-star level caliber player. And being if De'Aaron Fox can be more so what he was last year going forward. Not to say that he isn't that this year, but they've had kind of an off year, just them as a team, obviously. But if he can get back to that with Sabonis playing at the level that he's capable of, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I would say that at least, So, yeah, I mean, they always say the player who got or the team who got the best player won the trade. It's not always true, but we'll see. I'm starting to think that we didn't win that trade. We didn't win that trade. I'm starting to think that. For all of you guys that don't know who we is, I'm referring to the Lakers. Yeah. I don't know if one chip was worth not keeping Lonzo, Kuz, and Brandon Ingram. Because Jesus, I guarantee you right now, Bron now at 30, however the hell old he is, would be very happy with having 2 young guns that can put it in a bucket and a lead guard who can pass and defend over
Hell, even Trez.
Nah.
I ain't gonna go that far. But
Wow.
Trez is so bad on defense, man. He is an offensive buggy, but he's
a double machine.
He is in his freedom with locks and less height.
In his freedom with attitude is a very good equivalent for that.
Hey, listen, both terrible on defense. Both buckets, although different types of buckets. Trez is more like hustle buckets. Ennis got more of a post game, but he's definitely not much of a dog. But he's a little bit of a dog. But he's also a way better offensive rebounder.
Yeah.
But Trez is a good rebounder too. You know, but it's just like, you know, good offensive centers, just not, you know, good defensively. At least with Freedom, he has like the height. You know, so it's like
he's a long body, so it makes it looks better.
Yeah, so like as long as you're not running them in a pick and roll, which I mean that's what they're gonna do. But as long as you're not doing that, he can get on be on a big body. But you stick Trez in front of somebody like Jokic. Hey, what does Shaq call that? That's barbecue chicken, baby. Okay, so
yeah,
he's licking his fingers. He's finna go eat. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna lie, the Lakers would probably definitely be top 5 if they had, at least if they kept Kuzma and Ball. Like
we had Brandon Ingram. Oh my goodness! And I know like he would not have turned into what he is now, but he would be getting more to it because LeBron, even more so than when he first got to LA, does not want to be putting up 30 and leading the league if he did not have to.
Yeah.
He's still like, don't get me wrong. He wants to score his amount of points to where he can get, you know, so he can still be on track to get that Kareem record. But he don't want to be averaging 29 points a game. He don't want to be doing that. He would be fine with about 24 to 26 and letting the young guns lead it and closing games and being a facilitator.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because like we traded BI because Kuz fit more with LeBron, which he did, but then we got AD, and as a result, we took away Kuzma's rhythm, his spot, his minutes, and his identity. And you know, not to say that AD wasn't a better player, and rightfully so, took his minutes, but it's just like we kept the guy because he fit, but then we took everything about his fit away and tried to turn him into a spot-up shooter, and that's not what he is. He's a scorer. He needs rhythm. Like when he can cook and like, you know, do things within the flow of the game, then yes, he can get hot and he can shoot. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's not a great one. He's a good one. Slightly streaky, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I know one thing though. I know one thing. They better not catch us in the play-in, boy. I know that. You better watch out. You better watch out. Better not get. Hey, don't let them.
yeah. But also,
don't let me be in that play-in.
Just one more thing before we wrap this up. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. He had 50 tonight.
He had 50 tonight.
Yeah, 50.
A real quick tidbit tidbit on your part time.
Fuck Kyrie.
He is definitely over 25 points a game. And just to reiterate to our listeners, me and Gramps made a bet, basically saying that if Kyrie Irving averaged 25 points or more a game, that Gramps would buy a Kyrie Irving jersey. And if he did not, then I would purchase a Jaren Jackson jersey. Which there's no shame in Jaren Jackson's jersey.
I don't think it wasn't a Kyrie jersey. It was a Lakers jersey.
Oh yeah, Lakers.
No, it was a Lakers LeBron jersey.
Yeah, it was a Lakers jersey.
It was a Lakers LeBron jersey. That's even better. You're right. You should have just let me have. You should have just took it.
No,
I ran with it.
Honestly, as much as I hate the Lakers, I don't hate LeBron. I'd much rather have a LeBron jersey than a Kyrie Irving one. I still hate it, but ain't no way I'm betting on a Kyrie Irving jersey. I would wear that. I would wipe my ass with it.
About just come out the left foot like we're changing it up, and it's
Boston. It don't matter if you. It don't matter if you wipe your ass with it or not. He still dropped that 50 burger.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, you could buy a Boston Celtics version of Kyrie Irving's jersey and use it.
And
you
never.
You can use it as a dog's mat. Hey.
And I didn't watch the game, but I'm looking at these stats. This man went stupid. 15 for 19, 9 for 12 from 3, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. He lit these boys on fire. Elite score. Go there. Listen. Can we put even if somehow he gets under 25 points a game, can we put this to bed? No non-elite scorer is getting 50 a game. It's just not happening. You don't get 50 a game by accident. That's a 50 burger. You know the other two guys that recently got 50 elite scorers, LeBron James, and who was the other guy, Gramps? Tell me.
Tatum.
That's you there.
And is he an elite scorer?
Yes.
Absolutely right, he is. And guess who else is an elite scorer?
John Morant.
Part-time guy.
No, not. I mean, John sure, but no, that's not what I'm talking about. Who? Kyrie Andrew Irving. That is really his middle name, if you were wondering. Just in case you thought I made it up.
I repeat, fuck Kyrie Irving. Anyway,
that's fine. I just want, but I just want you to. Is he an elite scorer?
Yeah. But whatever jersey comes in, we got to post a picture of it. That'd be no.
I said I made the bet. I will honor it if I lose.
You got to be seen in it too, though, just so they know. Like
that's fine. I'll post a picture.
No, you have to wear it when we do like a live stream of like our draft coverage or something like that. I'm gonna need you in that. I'm gonna need you in that jersey, buddy.
Is the season gonna be over by then?
Probably.
Maybe the NBA draft. It doesn't have to be the NFL. It could be the NBA.
Well, all right. Yeah, we can figure out the logistics of that one.
Figure it out.
I don't think that was part of the bet, but I think you would just want to further embarrass me.
But I mean, it's for the fans too. Like, I mean, what type of people would we be? Tell the fans, they're making a bet, and then they don't get to see you win it.
Should I put a sticker on the front, like a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Chris Bayless," too?
LeBron is damn near a Celtic. He's had some of you guys' greatest performances ever in that build. Okay, that was it. That was
no.
But Chris is not talking to me no more.
Oh God. Yeah. Grant Bayless thing also. I just got an idea.
I wish I could see Grant.
I just said, you want me to put a sticker on it, like a name tag on the front that says, "Hi, my name's Grant Bayless," too, while you're at it?
I'm gonna find a way to get that Grant Bayless on the screen. It might not be a sticker.
I want you to have a chat. I want you to have a chat with your first name on
it. Wow.
Or a Lakers jersey with Bayless on the back of it.
Shit.
And...
Oh, that's let's custom. That costs more money. Come on now.
Ew.
Ew. Yeah, ew.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough for the That's enough for the night. Okay, so appreciate everyone listening tonight. Follow us on Twitter at Going for 3Pod and on Instagram at Going for 3Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Tony the Real. Gentlemen, your socials.
Chris? Oh, me first? Okay.
Okay. No, I got it now. Hey, listen. Hey, you can follow me at Chris D. Collins on Twitter and Instagram. I have moved past my disgruntled Lakers phase, and I am now the optimistic enthusiast. Shout outs to PTP for that word. Yeah.
And the Kyrie Irving stand, apparently, but okay.
No, not a Kyrie Irving stand. I am a truth teller, and when I hear people say things that are untrue, I have to involve myself. Listen, I'm a LeBron fan, so I've had my personal fan relationship with Kyrie Irving is complicated. But I mean, the man is one of the coldest to pick up a basketball, so I just can't ignore that. That's all it was.
An advocate of buckets, if you will.
I'm taking that. With your permission, of course.
Go ahead.
Oh, another nickname for Chris. Advocate of buckets.
An advocate of buckets.
I don't hate that. I can't lie. I don't hate it.
when you refer to me, call me the AOB. The advocate of buckets.
AOB. That's kind of fire.
It's kind of tough.
You might have to go from hot takes to advocator of buckets.
I might actually do that. My takes really had. Oh, actually, no. Real quick. Actually, I'll wait till after. After we tag.
But just really, just
I want to say my one hot take.
Just really quickly, you can follow me on Twitter at PTP_99, Decay Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, the third enthusiast. It's doubled down over the past 7 games, if you haven't noticed. Theory. Doubled down.
I have. Yeah.
You like Piston stuff. That's where you find it.
Right. Anyway, thanks to everyone for listening. I hope everyone has a good night. 20th episode next week. Stay tuned and stay blessed, everyone.
One more thing.
What's that?
Hot take. My hot take. The Miami Heat.
Oh, you had to get that in?
I had to. The Miami Heat are going to the finals. I don't know how hot of a take that is, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, stay tuned to our special 20th episode next week, and we can hear more of this nonsense. Stay blessed, everyone.